Hey everyone, my name is Caleb Bennett. I currently am a high school physical science and chemistry teacher at Sheridan High School. We are located about 45 minutes east of Columbus, but we are literally out in the middle of a cornfield. We have cornfields, soybeans planted all around us. So we are as rural of a school as I know of currently, which means technology is one of those things that we are constantly trying to improve on. However, we do have some limited resources and limited abilities to do some things. So we're doing the things that we can. We're making the best of it, and that's part of the reason that I'm taking this class is I want to be better in technology. We recently was trying to pass a levy because we're headed in the wrong direction financially, unfortunately, and it didn't pass. Our residents just didn't feel like we were doing some of the right things, so led to a lot of cuts in our district. One of those cuts that took a major hit was our librarians, and our librarians were one of the pillars in our instructional technology practices. So losing them is a major hit to us. So that's one of the areas I definitely want to try to improve on, not just in my classroom, but in other classrooms. I want to try to get this. If I can get this degree, I can definitely be a source of a resource for other teachers who are trying to incorporate in some technology and stuff like that. A professional area of strength for me. I happen to be a football coach at the high school that I am at, so I like to create relationships. I want my students to get to know me not just as a teacher, as a classroom person, but I want them to know me on a personal level. I encourage my students, hey, if you see me out at the grocery store, you see me at the football game, come up, say hi, talk to me. Tell me about how your weekend was. And there's some times even at the beginning of class, and I've had this conversation with other teachers. I know it's probably not part of the curriculum and it's not encouraged, but I'll take 5-10 minutes at the beginning of a class sometimes and just say, "Hey, how's things going?" Not in the classroom. How's things going in your life? What did you do? We'll talk about, oh, the show choir had this competition, the soccer team did this, our cross country team did this, our volleyball team, our band, or it could even be a kid just saying, "Hey, I went out and I did this with my family this weekend." But just getting to know them more on a personal level, and just really is one of my focuses is I want my kids to know me because I want them to feel comfortable in my classroom. An area to improve: technology. We're like I said, we don't have a lot of it, and we lost a bunch of our resources, and a bunch of what we had is kind of leaving us. So I really want to improve my technology. For me, I want to move to a more digital classroom. As a science teacher, we do a lot of labs in class. Well, when students are absent because things come up, sickness, obviously with COVID and things like that going around, kids miss classes. So a goal of mine is to move more to that digital classroom. Whether it is I get all my assignments posted online, I post resources online, to the point of I would like to have videos of labs that I do. So having my students maybe help me out where, hey, we're going to do this lab today, but I need one group. I want you to video everything that you do. And then I can save it and makes it easier for people who are absent. Maybe all they have to do then is go in and watch the video versus trying to schedule time to come into my classroom and we go through it, we do the lab, we talk about it, whatever it happens to be. I think it would be easier if I can just say, hey, here's a video, I'm going to send it to you, watch it, ask me questions later, go through it, see how you feel about it afterwards. So I want to improve on my digital classroom. Instructional technology to me is anything that I put in the hands of my students. It doesn't necessarily have to be on our Chromebooks, on their phones, on the internet or something along those lines. It could be for me as simple as I want you to use a digital scale instead of a triple beam balance. I want you to use a digital thermometer instead of a regular thermometer, or whatever it happens to be. Anything that I can put in my hands, the students' hands for them to complete the lesson or to learn. That to me is instructional technology, and I want to increase that as much as I possibly can. Information literacy for me is a new term, as it seemed like most of you guys had the same thing. To me, it is the process we go through to answer questions, to look up information, to determine is this good information, is it bad information? How does it answer my question? Does it answer my question? All of those things. I know in my science class, I get a lot of questions. It maybe isn't directly tied to what I was trying to teach that day, but a kid will just have a good idea. Hey, Mr. Bennett, how does this work? And I'll go, you know what, I'm not sure. Let's look it up. And maybe I send him, say, hey, you go home and see what you can figure out, and then I'll go see what I can figure out, and we'll bring it back and we'll mesh it and see if we can come up with an answer. So that to me is information literacy, and I'm really looking forward to meeting up with all you guys and having some good conversations with you.